Hey, welcome everyone. We got a little bit of a slow start there because StreamYard decided to kick us out of our own stream. I don't
Raven's
know.
saying it's my fault. She says it's always my fault if there's a late start.
Oh yeah, you told her already. It's a late start. It is. Can we? We're gonna can we just make that a habit then? I mean, he doesn't drink coffee. We gotta like hang something on
You
him.
and the damn coffee.
You know, I love my coffee. It's true. It is. I'm a coffee advocate from way
Speaking
back.
of coffee, I like
Yeah.
the fact that you have a coffee cup on book pages. As
Did
your
you like
background.
that?
I did like that. I'm like, sweet. That's kind of like
Is it?
mine.
Yes, I did. I did. You guys notice I changed up the intro a little bit based on some feedback I was getting about colors and design, and that my avatar looked pissed off all the time, and it didn't really reflect my attitude about true crime and legal. And you know what? They were spot on because I am not grumpy about that at all, even when it's the bleakest update possible. Even when I can't find any information, I'm really not happy about it at all. You guys were all kind in not telling me how horrible my avatar looked. So but go ahead, be mean because it was bad. I think this one's better, but if anybody has any other better suggestions about it, let me know. But thank you for noticing, Jay. Look at you, spot on. It's nice to know that you pay so much attention since we do all this true crime and legal stuff. Yeah. It's really good. You got a good eye for this stuff. So anyway, today's an update series. We're going to be talking back and forth about a couple of different cases that we've brought to your attention before. Basically, they are the Leticia Stauch, the crazy judge writing fool. I could hashtag these people like with some great names. And then also we have the number one true crime case as far as media coverage and BS would be the DayBell-Vallow case. We have a little update there. And one of my favorites, Suzanne Morphew, Morphew.
The Morphew case.
I got an update on that one too.
Yeah, that's just an interesting case overall.
It is because it's got the legal teeth too, which is one of my interests. Not only just the evidence and the crime part of it and all of that, but actually what they do about it legally. So it's really, they're really fighting it out, and like I kind of like that. So it kind of gets nice to get your blood going for January, because I don't know about where you are, Jay, but I'm cold. I am so cold.
It's cold.
It is so cold.
Well, it managed to make it all the way to 30 today.
Oh joy! We would do a storm here on the East
Coast. But it feels like 19. Sorry.
We was. I know it feels much colder. I let the dogs out earlier, and I'm telling you, I'm still not warm from going out there. It is. We're expected to have snow, so it's that damp, cold feeling out there.
Oh yeah,
I don't like it. But south of me, they already got 6 inches. But it seems like the middle of the state where I am, it just warmed up just enough to keep it at bay. So we'll see what happens now that the sun is down. We'll see what happens overnight. But anyway, I heard that you also, one of the other cases we're going to cover, which Jay has been on a little bit, was the John Bonet. There's been some stuff on John Bonet.
Update on that 25-year-old case as of Christmas.
Yeah. I don't know. So, okay, everybody. So with all of that going on, I'm just like, where do we want to start, Jay? Do we want to start with the John Bonet's the oldest one? Do you want to start with that? Are you ready?
We can start with some John Bonet.
Yeah, let's exercise your vocal cords there. You give it a good shot first. I'll see if I can pay attention.
So the way you did. As we all know, Jean Bonet was found bludgeoned and strangled just hours after her mom would call 911. This was in 25 years ago on the December 26th. Since then, the police have analyzed almost 1,000 DNA samples, reviewed over 21,000 tips, and traveled to 19 states and interviewed over 1,000 people. As of December 21st, they are now going to start dipping into genealogy with the DNA samples.
Oh wow!
thanks to huge advances in DNA technology, multiple suspects have been run through the system to check for matches. Boulder police said in a statement Tuesday, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation has updated over 750 reference samples in the latest DNA technology. So they're working closely with the CBI and the DNA advancements, hoping to. What they're hoping for is they can catch the same thing they did with the Golden State Killer. They're hoping they could pull a familial match that will lead them to the actual killer. So,
Wow.
unfortunately, sorry, go ahead.
That's worked in several cases where they track it to an uncle or a cousin or somebody, and they're able to then go down the list of everybody they talk to and actually pinpoint somebody. So this is fascinating to me that it might be, they might actually get somewhere with this finally,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was just reading a comment in the chat. We'll get to that in just a second. But unfortunately, Jean-Benet's mother died in 2006, so she won't ever know.
She won't know. No.
She won't ever know. But hopefully, her father and her brother get some, and everybody else that's been involved in the case finally get some closure on that. Now, I will admit, when I first heard the case, my first instinct was the brother did it. Until I realized he was only 9 and was pretty much not capable of doing the things that was done. So that kind of threw my my whole thing out the window until I heard about the gentleman in the Santa Claus outfit.
Oh yeah.
And the way he was talking about him and Jean-Benet were supposed to. He was supposed to get with her to bring her a special present and whatnot. But I think at this point, if they haven't connected him to it, I don't think it's him. But we'll still see. But what I did want, but that's all the information we have right now on the update on the Jean-Benet case. Like I said, I wanted to bring this in because there are some advancements. Hoping to do the same thing with the Golden State Killer. And we're hopefully at some point we will get some more information on that. Look for Jean-Benet to go ahead, Claire. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say that the chat agrees with you that they're very happy that it's about time something's actually moving on this case. And they've been talking about that Santa Claus thing. People have been going back and forth about it. So I gotta come and.
Yeah. So what I did want to bring up is someone in the chat. Where'd it go? Christola S.
Yeah, I was just looking. Yeah.
Okay. I haven't heard anything about the Brian Laundrie and the Crystal and Kaylin connection with the weapon.
Right, with the weapon. It has to do with the Gabby case.
Gabby Petito. Yeah. I knew who Brian Laundrie was, but I don't know the other 2 names.
Yeah. So if you know what, feel free to DM Crystal with what where you're going with that, if you'd like. It's not something that we've been covering, but it is definitely something we could look into. There's so much coverage on, the Gabby case that I had left it alone, mostly because of some of the bigger ones using it. And I did not like the way a certain YouTuber was covering it and bringing such heartache to people. And I won't even mention her name, but we all know who I'm talking about. Yeah. So like if she's already causing like massive amounts of damage and speaking on it, I usually try to not, but it was sad. That was a sad one for me too. Anyway, Raven says with the, that she said there was not a kid with behavior problems. There was no reason for anyone to blame the brother. And she's talking about the brother in the Jean-Benet case. Yeah, I know that was terrible.
Yeah, and like I said, when I first initially heard about the case, I thought it was the brother and the parents were covering up for what the brother until I found out he was 9 and not much bigger than her, and then I was like, okay, it's not him, and only because at that time, I was just really starting to get into serial killers and true crime stuff. I wasn't as familiar as I am now. And from what I had known back then, it was, it's usually in a case like that, it's usually someone connected with the family. So
And Tina says that about the other two, those were murdered. They were murdered by where Gabby was found, that there was also a murder right where Gabby's body was found. And that's the connection. Thank you, Tina, for helping clarify that. That might be something, maybe now that it's died down a little, that we could look into, you know.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that.
Yep. They were trying to make him out to be jealous of the attention she got, this boy that he's lost his sister. And I know, like, why add to it? It's so sad.
Well,
I know. I agree with you guys.
I do have something on that one. In January of 2019, Burke and CBS reached a settlement because Burke sued CBS News in 2016 after the network aired a special that included the theory that he was involved in his sister's death.
Yeah, they did. So, and you know what? And I wish more people would do that, because even though we speculate here, like we're not experts in everything, we don't have that. Like, I'm not out there on the mass media news, like trying to defame somebody, you know, like, but they've been doing hit pieces. Like, sometimes the media gets a little rough with this stuff, you know, they just too much, especially a child. I don't know. That bothered me. That definitely bothered me. So, yay, Jay. How would you like to talk? Yeah,
so that's our update on JonBenet. Hopefully we'll get more information soon.
Yep.
So, but do look for the JonBenet case at some point on True Serial, because I will cover that. There's two cases I really want to cover: JonBenet and the West Memphis 3. Three, because I also want to cover the Atlanta child murders too at some point. So look for those three coming this year. I don't know when. I just know because they are all three cases are huge cases with lots of information, so they are going to take a lot of time. But look for those coming this year. So
are they all unsolved like JonBenet? Because JonBenet is going in our unsolved bucket. We have added an unsolved bucket to the series.
The West Memphis 3, yes, because the three boys they thought did it turned out that they didn't do it. So now they're back to square one there. The one father they thought did it, he proved that it was proven that he didn't do it. So yeah, they're kind of back to square one. And the Atlanta child murders, I was thought about touching on that one just a little bit, but since it was brought up, since I brought it up, because it is unsolved. It's not unsolved, but there are questions. Even the governor of Georgia believes that the gentleman they have in custody may not be the gentleman. So they are actually sending DNA samples to Utah for a better analysis from two of the victims.
Sorry. Are you okay?
Yep, I'm good. So.
Oh God, sorry guys, I forgot to put the damn thing on silent. Oy. There you go. Thank you, Mrs. Cassandra. Go on.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Miss Cassandra, for putting the channel.
Christola was just asking. I just want to tell everybody we always have Jay's channel linked in all of the series down below in the description if you're interested, along with some of the links we're using for sources, and I'll update at the end of the show all of the source links that I can find for you. So there you go.
So that's what we got. That's what we got. So
so that's gonna be exciting. We're gonna be adding some unsolved to the regular series too, right? Besides your video updates, like I know JonBenet is gonna be a good one because they're looking at that.
JonBenet, like I said, JonBenet, West Memphis 3, Atlanta child murders. Somebody brought up Zodiac. I might touch on Zodiac, but it's the only thing interesting to me with Zodiac is how long it's been since. Other than that, there is and how long it's been and the cryptid messages. But for the rest of it, I mean, there's really not much more to talk about on Zodiac, really.
Right. No, well, because it's been so long, and there's like nothing that they're bringing, nothing yet. We should just say yet, because you never know. Like these updates are like crazy, but on the ongoing cases, we do have that crazy. Let's just talk about our favorite crazy judge writer.
Yes, let's move on to that.
One. let's talk about Leticia Stauch. Okay, now here's the thing, like. The layperson, and I think the chat agreed with us when we went over the Leticia Stauch case. And if you need some reminding, she is accused of murdering her stepson. There is plenty of physical evidence. It's a few episodes back, and I will link it in the description later for you if you'd like to catch up. But there is a playlist on the channel for all the true crime cases that I do with Jay.
Can I just say something real quick? I just realized that Barry Morphew and Leticia Stauch are both out of Colorado.
They're both out of Colorado, yeah.
And I just happened.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, because I just happened to notice that both articles I brought up are from 9 News out of Boulder.
Yeah, they are out of Boulder because that is the big news place out of Boulder. And I have to say that 9 News there, they do a good linking where they do a historical linking that you can find all the other articles. So like sometimes we'll give you one link for an update, but if you look through the article, you'll find you can link back to everything we talked about, like all of the different articles. They'll all be like a link there. I try to find like the newest one so that you get like all the links in one shot rather than put 50 links in a description. Although I am trying to get to the maximum. Do you know you could put 5,000 characters in a description for a video? And I was just trying to find out why we would want to do that, but but I did get close around the holidays with all the links for the charities. I almost made it. It was like 4,582. But hey, what are you gonna do? Anyway, about Leticia Stauch. This our favorite crazy judge writer. She is the one who committed suspected allegedly of committing murder against a stepchild. There's plenty of evidence, and she was indicted, and she's pled not guilty formally. Okay, and she keeps writing to the judge, and we showed you a few letters last time about, you know, she's not happy with her attorneys. Nobody understands her because she's crazy. Okay, but she says she's not crazy. So she's had 2 different evaluations. Now on December 9th, again, after some petition again by the defense that she needs an evaluation, they decided, okay, finally they're gonna do another one, the last one. But they actually said this is the last one because you've already been declared competent twice. And so they are now going forward. But like we found articles that they're saying that there is such a backlog with all the mental health experts and the mental health hospital that they may not be able to do this very expediently. Like this could take some time. It really could. Like, you know, she could use this to her advantage, Jay. This could be bad for the case. This could make major delays. Like, we have a hearing on January 7th where we're going to be talking about, you know, because she says that her attorneys don't represent her well. She wants to represent maybe herself, Jay, and she wants all of the visits to the prison. Everybody who comes, she wants it to be held in confidence. Nobody's allowed to know what she's doing. And so there'll be a hearing on January 7th about that, whether they're going to close that off, the visiting list and all of the stuff, because she's not technically representing herself. They're fighting it because it's not in her best interest. And this is the person who didn't want to show up to any of her hearings, including the hearing of her own mental health. She wanted only her attorney to be there, and she didn't want to bother. She don't want to go. And so how can you represent yourself if you won't even go into the courtroom? Like, you know, they're saying it's just like she's just playing the system back and forth on this, and she doesn't really know as much as she thinks she does. But when she writes to the judge, she acts like she has all of these like legal knowledge and everything, like she knows the law. It's kind of really, really weird. It's like she's just like, you know, I just have to say it, you know, she's like my favorite nutcase right now.
Well, apparently it's Sucka's favorite too, because Sucka said, "I'm here for this troglodyte."
I know she is just like, that's a good word for it. Thank you for joining me in the ridiculousness of this, because I'm just like, you know, the case is, you know, as far as the evidence, and you all heard it, there was plenty of blood evidence, right? I mean, they caught her with everything, like they have everything. They have everything they need, as far as we could tell with the evidence, you know, and we could do a refresher on that when we finally get to trial. But, she just the way she's going about it is like, maybe if we pretend that reality doesn't exist, like I'm going to actually get away with this. Like, it is because no one, in her main thing is no one understands me. I can't get proper legal representation because they don't understand me and they don't do what I want. Like she wanted like this guy who was saying that there was some strangers or something in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And, like it was the known crazy person in the neighborhood or something like that. And she wanted him to be one of the key witnesses, but he's not credible. And they won't put him on the list. And that's what she was using with the, in the letter to the judge, to try to show that she wasn't getting proper legal representation because they didn't think it was a good idea because there was no credible information there to bring forward. But she wanted him there so she could talk to him. She wanted to talk to him.
Yeah,
And
no, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's it.
I said the one thing that gets me is she nobody understands her. Well, lady, you can't even keep your own story straight.
Exactly. How many times did she change her story?
Yeah,
right.
When we covered this before, she changed her story like 5 times.
It was like she's right up there with Morphew's interviews, which kept changing. Every time they talked to him, he added more based on the evidence. It was like, here's a piece of evidence. Oh, let me tell you about that, and changed the whole story to match it.
But
like back and forth.
The difference with Morphew's case compared to Stauch's is they don't have the absolute evidence they have like they have on Stauch. I mean, they have circumstantial evidence with Morphew, and we talked about this.
I know right what you were going to say. I knew it.
But they have physical proof that she did this. They have absolute. Yeah. They have know
DNA 100%. Matching. They know it's her blood. They know it's his blood. They have witnesses. They have witnesses. They have her own family.
Yeah, and that's the difference between this nut job and the other nut job.
I think this is the true test of when you know someone is really crazy, when they just cannot accept the fact that, like, no, they think they're going to just convince you it's the other way, regardless of what there is, of what there is against them. That takes a special kind of crazy in my estimation. She doesn't even understand, like always says, she doesn't even understand herself. She writes a sentence and then 5 sentences later she contradicts it, right? Always. Did you read those letters? Like, she's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like crazy with a capital C. Okay. Like really out there. And yet she can actually, she's not the type of crazy that is actually committable. She just like, the kind of like crazy I mean is like just unself-aware or narcissistic or like psychotic in the point where she actually thinks she's going to control everybody else. I don't mean like crazy like she's going to say like there's an alien in the room or anything like that, because I'm
surprised that one didn't pop up.
yeah, but she'd have a better chance if it did, because she's not that crazy that she can't stand trial, and she's trying like hell to make it that way. I guess, but it's not going to work. Even the defense says like it's really like they just want to make sure. They have to keep making sure because she keeps throwing this stuff out there. She's really wasting the court's time, and I do hope the penalties at the end, because I have noticed that the courts are really starting to get their fees back for people that are causing them a lot of trouble. The judge can put a fine on her for this, you know, for all of the extra services, especially we're going into our 3rd mental health evaluation.
Yeah.
And
I did want to bring that up because it says the article we're looking at says during Thursday's hearing, Werner said that he received information that the Colorado Mental Health Institute of Pueblo, which is the county they're in, had a 352 person wait list as of 2 weeks ago. Right. And believes it has gone up since then. So if it's not likely that her evaluation will be completed soon for the 3rd time, that's why the hearing has been pushed to the 13th. Now, the problem with that is her trial is set for the 28th, but a written report of a completed mental health eval must be disclosed 63 days before the trial.
Right.
So it's got to be done before late January.
Right. And that's going to be tough because their trial is set for what, like May, right? Is that
March 28th?
March 28th. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The other one's May. Okay. So March 28th for this one. And I remember now, it was early because we were all excited that we were actually going to see some criminal trial, before too long. But that doesn't look like it's going to happen. I'm going to lay a bet right here that she is just crafty enough to get this thing delayed till at least 2023. Yeah.
I don't think 23. I'm gonna say it's gonna be pushed to late July, early August.
Oh, you're hoping for summer. You know what?
Yeah,
I would be
that's
happy to lose that bet to you because I want to see this go to trial because she's so entertaining in black and white. Can you imagine what she's like in trial video? Oh, I just like,
I
it's something to look,
if I was the defense, I would not put her on the stand.
Oh, but she's going to demand it.
I
Are you
know.
kidding? There's no way she's staying off like she's already carved her name in the back of that chair. Are you
I
kidding? Oh
know,
my
but
God. There's
if
no
I
way.
was
There's no way.
if I was her defense attorneys, I would be like, no, you are
Yeah.
not going up to
Shay
the stand.
says, in regards to Leticia, I'm assuming this is about Leticia. Of course it is. Just ignore science and believe my story. Exactly.
Yeah.
Who cares what the evidence? I'm telling you, this is how her letters read. Like, who cares about the evidence? I am telling you this. Believe me, because I'm telling you. And Just Saying says, imagine being crazy, but also innocent. Not this one, but others. That's got to be a tough one to defend. Yes, because they can't help in their own defense. They kind of just make it worse. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, that would be an awful situation to be in. Yeah. I think, Deborah, they should move her up, but it doesn't work that way, I guess, with the trial cases. I mean, because, it's like, just saying, if you are on Twitter or Instagram and you find me, I can send you the links to where we covered the case, and I can send you some links to brush up on the case. If you're interested in the actual legal documents, I can send you some of that. It's entertaining reading for sure, and I'm happy to share it with you if you get a kick out of it, because oh my God.
I did put a very small synopsis there in the chat.
Yes,
too.
it was from 2020. Yep. And it was a shame. And I don't mean to make light that this poor young child is gone. It is terrible. This woman is a whole hot mess. And she just really, really, that's okay. Just saying, Twitter scares a lot of people. My Instagram is on the back of the channel on the about. It's pretty easy to find. So I look forward there, and I'll link you. But all right, so let's put crazy Leticia aside for a little bit, and we have two other legal. Like, there's no real evidential updates on the other two cases that I want to talk about. The first one would be DayBell-Vallow, Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow. And this is a sad case. This also is one of the most talked about cases for 2021. They just came out with the top 12, and they made number one for the year of 2021 about what was going on back and forth and how it stayed on the the tips of the tongue of everybody who's interested in this kind of stuff. And there was a hot mess, that whole case and everything going back. Lori Vallow is still in the mental hospital. But there's an interesting hook. If you'll all remember our last update, we talked about Lori. Lori was on the phone with a person suspected to be MacArthur, who was an attorney for the Christian group, the Church, right? Was it Latter-day Saints? The Church of Latter-day Saints, was it, Jay? I believe so.
I want to say it was the Mormons. Yeah. It was before she went to her whole doomsday cult thing.
Yeah, and so that they were like connecting with her, and that there was some information being transferred or whatever, and that call was instituted by a staff member of the mental health facility that she's in. There was also facilitated by her attorney that she has, the one that was secured for her privately, okay, which is a problem. Okay, that was definitely a problem, okay, because there was going to be that hearing about this phone call and everything like that, but it comes to find that this his Mark Means, right, is his name. He is now,
I believe so. Yeah, Means
is off there because the prosecutors had asked Stephen Boyce who is the judge, to put issues against Means, put sanctions against him because he was acting inappropriately by getting involved in this whole phone call thing and actually also not communicating with her public defender. Okay. Lori Vallow is covered by a public defender at the same time. And when you have two attorneys working together, they're supposed to be doing things together, not separately. But apparently Means made some case to the court without him. And they've done all of this. And they said the potential harm for Lori's case from publicizing all of these statements and all of this stuff going about by Mr. Means, and everything. And because Mr. Means, where do you hear this, was a former attorney for Chad DayBell at one time. Yeah, he's connected to the other defendant in the case. That's a big no-no right there. So they are just like, there's something fishy going on here. We are just not going to be, messing with any of this. And they finally, the prosecutors asked the judge to look into it, and they petitioned the court to have him sanctioned. And instead of just being sanctioned, the private attorney representing Lori DayBell has officially been kicked off the case, according to the court records in the end of December. And that came forward. The article is from December 29th, so I'm imagining just a few days before that, they officially ruled on it and kicked his butt out. Okay. And
and it says Mr. Means' practice of submitting declarations under penalty of perjury have called into question his ability to completely and effectively represent Vallow going forward,
quote.
despite the pending stay in the case.
Mm-hmm. Well, Judge Boyce had a 17-page decision on that. And that's a quote from there. He says the actual conflict exists in this case due to Means' former representation of DayBell and the timing of that representation, which happened to be within the period of time. Noting that they're both charged with conspiracy anyway for alleged murders. This is highly suspect. And last July, they filed a memorandum. I didn't know. I was not that must have flew by me, because in July, they were already talking about there being a conflict there and whether Means could actually represent her because of the DayBell connection, because whether they could have simultaneous representation. And then, you wonder if that is actually appropriate, if they are going to be charged together and they are going to be the cases aren't severed yet, even though she's in the mental health facility. They haven't been officially severed. Okay. But they've been,
which is odd. I'm surprised at least his attorney hadn't requested it to be separated.
Mm-hmm.
Because to be honest, I wouldn't put it past his defense team to place all the blame on her and her mental status.
Mm-hmm.
And say it was all her and she had manipulated him into doing all this.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's I wouldn't be surprised if that's what comes out in the trial.
Yeah. I'm thinking so too, because they knew there were conversations with Lori Vallow and Chad DayBell while they were incarcerated back in April of 2020, where Chad DayBell was telling everybody that Means was his attorney. So they knew all along. Was coming up. Bella Marie has a question. Is this person does have mental issues really bad? Can she still represent themselves? If you're talking about Leticia Stauch, that's why they're doing the mental health evaluation, because on the one hand, she's saying she's crazy. And on the other hand, she's saying, but I want to represent myself. It makes it for very interesting as a legal quagmire, because of course, if you're crazy, you're not really in your best interest to represent yourself. You're not going to get the best representation, and you're not going to be protected fully. Although they do appoint a lawyer to sit by your side and give you advice when you have questions that you can't tackle yourself, to keep you out of trouble. But you do technically make all the decisions yourself and bring the case forward yourself. You only have them there as an advisor. They're not allowed to write anything. They're not allowed to submit any of the, the pleadings or anything like that. It does get to be quite a mess. You have to kind of know what you're doing, or at least have a grasp on reality enough to know what happened and to present, present your side of it in a way that others can understand. But here's the thing. Leticia is quite capable of writing letters to the judge all here and there and everybody else, and quite able to try to manipulate the whole where she's at in prison system to like make sure that nobody knows what she's up to. She is rather clever. I would say she's clever like a fox and not crazy at all, except for the crazy part. When I say she's crazy, I mean that she's like a narcissist to the point that she doesn't even realize we all see it. That's the crazy part. She doesn't realize that we see you. We see you, Leticia. We see what you're up to here, and just really trying to make it appear like none of this happened. And you're just so innocent, and I don't want to say that hands down that she's guilty, because of course there has to be a trial and everything, and it's all alleged. She just gives me this feeling like she's really trying to manipulate everything to the best she can. But she's doing it in quite an obvious way. And this will be like the third mental health evaluation and final mental health, because the court already said, all right, we're going to do it, but this is it. This is it. Like, that's it. Like, we're going to do it. But now we're waiting, and it's going to really mess things up. So it's kind of clever, She does, right, Christola? She thinks she's so much smarter than everybody else. And, like, being someone with, some intelligence here, like, I'm not the smartest person on the planet or anything like that. I'd never say. But, like, I could see black for white and, yellow and red. Like, I know my colors and stuff like that. And she just, like, really acts like none of us really know what's going on. Only her. She is the only one on the planet that knows what's going on, and that's offensive to me, and it makes me not want to be on her side. So I admit to being a little biased about whether or not Leticia is guilty. I do.
Do we know why Lori was I can't remember. Do we know why she was found incompetent?
No, they won't let us know the actual reason, but it was a displace of reality. It was a displace of the reality of timing and events, and that she was just talking crazy about the church and everything every time they were asking her questions. And just the face-to-face interview, from what they said in the mental evaluation, proved that she was not really connecting the dots as well as could be. Now, it doesn't mean that she won't get better, but all of the stress of everything did indicate that she was having a minor break of some type. So they don't tell you the detail. They won't, like, that's really confidential. It kind of falls into not only into the legal system as far as the case, but as far as, HIPAA and everything here in America. Like, we're not allowed to speak on it. I will look, Belinda, I see your question. I'm going to look to see if they actually gave her a diagnosis. It's a very good question. Thank you, you guys. You bring up things I want to know also. So I will look for that and give you an update on that. I did do a link down there on the update of the case. And in that link, there is good links forward on all kinds of stuff about the case that you could probably follow link after link after link, and we might get to something. But I'll be doing the same thing, plus looking through the legal documentation to see if they ever gave her a diagnosis.
It will be interesting to see how that's brought up in the trial.
Or if she even gets a trial separate, because remember, DayBell, the trial is set for January of 2023, or another year from now. So they have time to declare her. And where they are, remember, in the state that they're in, she doesn't get a free pass for this. She just stays there until they can try her. Like, she'll just stay there forever until they can bring her to trial on these, She's not going to get out. As soon as she gets out, she goes to trial. It's not like she will just get awarded mental incapacity and not have to serve trial at all. Okay.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a defense of mental illness in that state. Isn't that clever? I wish they all did. Because if you're going to say you were crazy, then you should get locked up.
Well, and I think with that is because they've had so many cases where people have tried to go, I'm crazy, and tried to get out of it, and this way they've got that cushion going. Well,
okay, yeah. Okay, Davros, we need to talk about this case, the Vallow case, or do you mean the Stauch case, or do you mean crazy in general? Because, I'm I've been talking about a lot here, so I want to make sure. But we can talk at any time. You didn't get a notification. I'm sorry, Bella. YouTube is this the damn bots and everything else that's going on. But yes, Christola, I do believe it might be on the delusion factor, what they would have got her for, because of what she was talking about with the church and all. She does believe she's a god. I mean, I think if somebody sits down there in front of your face and you're a mental health expert and they start claiming to be God, I think that might be a clue right there. Might be some type of small delusions of grandeur diagnosis that they might put on her there for a while. And it could all be an act too, and they're just trying to play her up. But we'll see. They do say that she was easily manipulated, though. When they got rid of her attorney, they said it was because she was really getting manipulated by the situation and it wasn't in her best interest. But, they said, yeah, just saying, I know, I'd like to think that, except for I see them everywhere. When I did, you've arrived when the Russian bots start showing up, right, Jay?
Yeah, you got the Russians already.
Yeah, the Russians are after us already. So there you go. So there we have that on Daybell. And I see the questions that you guys have, and I get it. They are good. I know, Pickle. They're so fast, right? Dav and Mrs. Cassandra fighting over the bots. It's good.
Hey, I'm the one that got it.
Oh, Dav, sorry. Oh gosh. Okay.
Booyah.
Sorry. God. Yeesh. Oy, I gotta be careful. All right, I'm not talking about my mods anymore. You see how rough they are? See how they rough my mods are, man. Don't mess with my mods, people. Ooh, it's rough.
Second asked, does crime of passion fall under mental health? I don't know. I'm actually looking that up now.
There are stipulations to it, yes.
Yeah.
But they have criteria to make it that way. It would be like an immediate break, like an immediate lapse of reality, like right then and there, and then it goes back away. So they would try to say that it was just for that period of time. It doesn't always work. And usually, if you're going to say crime of passion, it is almost always to go from murder to manslaughter, but not to say you didn't do it. Those are the successful ones, legally speaking. You're not going to get off because it was a crime of passion. Nobody's going to say, okay, let's just a basic, crime of passion. The most common ones were adultery, getting caught in the act, and then you walk in the room and you kill them both, or one, or whatever. And it's a crime of passion because you were so upset by what you saw and you see betrayed, and this passion all comes out. Boom, you commit the deed. Nobody's going to say you had the right to kill those people regardless of what was going on. So that's why it's usually a step down. It's a step down from what I've seen. I'm not a lawyer, and a lawyer can come up and challenge that if they'd like, but from what I see in the legal cases, it's never used as a defense to get you off. It is a defense to get you less in sentencing, get you some leniency with the court, a bit of mercy, and to try to get the prosecutors to downgrade from whatever degree of murder they're saying you have to manslaughter or something like that. Like it couldn't be helped. They died in the act of something that couldn't be helped. Like your mental outbreak caused the death of another. Would be a definition of manslaughter. Because remember, manslaughter is people died or were, because of something that you've done, but you didn't necessarily intend to kill them.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But in that case, that's kind of hard to prove, right?
Yeah.
Because
like I said, I was hoping to find something definitive.
Yeah.
But
if you want statutes, if you want the boring stuff, I'll go get it for next time. I will, because that's just, I like to give you the layman's terms on how they use it, but there are definite statutes, and I assure you it's probably like over 100 pages long, and with a whole bunch of numbers in front of it. Yeah. No, but they don't say it. But so now we got one more, to finish up. Let's talk about the case of Barry Morphew, who is accused of allegedly killing his wife, Suzanne, back in May 10th of 2020, Mother's Day. She goes missing. The body has not been found. And as Jay has stated, and clearly he has every right to say, doesn't see clear evidence that he actually physically did the deed.
I
There is a
believe he
lot
did
of,
it, but
and I
I'm
know,
not seeing anything definitive saying he did it.
I feel better just hearing you say
Well,
that.
I said that from the start. I said I've always
Yeah,
thought he did it, but I don't
yeah.
see the case that they're trying to bring out because it's only circumstantial. They have no definitive proof that he did anything.
No, this is true. I feel the same way. I get the feeling he did it based on his interviews, based on other things he does and sketchy. I just think there's so much wrong with these cases, like going back and forth. This is like it's legally a tug of war back and forth of ridiculousness that I mean, it's getting to be a bit much because now they're going back and there was a tie to the judge. Let me get the lovely judge's name. I believe it's Patrick.
Yep, Judge Patrick W. Murphy.
Patrick Murphy has to step down. He willingly is leaving the case because he has decided, based on a filing by the defense stating that since he has ties to another law firm that was directly related to the case, that he could not be unbiased and that there might be any question. And as he should, and I believe he's right to do this, it is going to delay the case. Okay. But I think it's a good move because the Morphew attorneys are all over everything to do with any slight little change of anything in this case, right? Like they're attacking pieces of the evidence we were talking about before. Remember, and that they were going after. They're the ones suing all the prosecutors and the county sheriff's department and everybody for everything. Like as if that little bit of DNA that they're talking about was all that the case was about. It is not. There is so much more. But anyway, based on all of that, around December, the middle of December, the defense were seeking disqualification. They wanted a formal disqualification of the judge from any further participation after a recent conversation between the defense and Martin Stewart, who is a defense attorney for a woman who's just been casually mentioned in the arrest affidavit. And because Martin Stewart is part of this law firm that Patrick Murphy has some kind of ties to, they're going to do that. They're going to get it that way, to say that he's affiliated in some way because it's in the arrest affidavit. Now that's important. It's in the court documents already. So the only choice, the wise choice of the judge, is to step down because it's already in the affidavit, which means they could keep bringing it up over and over and over and over again, even if it doesn't matter. And all it's going to do is mess everything up, make more delays, and just give the defense the reason to file more and more paperwork on the court, trying to make it a bigger issue even than it is. There has not been any determination and any filing or any opinion that this judge has given based on that little mention in the affidavit to even indicate that he has any bias about it in any way. But however, just to keep things good as they should, I'm kind of pleased that he did take the right step and step down before they actually formally removed him. And that he's keeping the case moving forward the best that it can. And that, that speaks a lot to his integrity there. And I'm really kind of happy to see that because they could like fight it back and forth, they did say that the court really couldn't decide whether or not someone would show bias or not. You can't predetermine that.
Yeah.
So, it is probably.
I want to say something here because so you guys got a little bit more information. Shoshana Drake was taken into custody in September after she trespassed onto the Morphew's residence and removed a package. Now, where this comes together is the Judge Murphy has a personal relationship with Sean McDermott, who is also a partner in the firm that is representing Drake. So that's where they can go, hey.
Not only just a relationship, that court has this is the the actual quote from the affidavit is that this court has a very close, long-standing personal relationship with Sean McDermott that rises to interest or prejudice with respect to this case and decisions that may arise with respect to Shoshana Dark. And the motion argues this relationship extends to other members of the families of both Sean McDermott and this court. And when they say this court, they mean Judge Patrick Murphy. They just argued that he needed to be disqualified because there was no way that they could not see him being biased in any way. And they said that actually the Colorado law and Supreme Court does not have a choice but to disqualify him because they have no discretion to deny it because there's no way to prove he wouldn't be biased. And I'm sure after reading that, the judge agreed and he stepped down. Because it is a good, valid point. I mean, how do you prove somebody's not going to be biased about something? So.
Yeah, and even Judge Murphy said in his ruling, although the conflict only represented a small portion of the case, he felt that there was no choice but to disqualify himself.
Exactly. But it does make me wonder, I'm glad that they did that because when we look at Morphew, that's Shoshana Dark. That is that's the girlfriend, right? And she was involved all along. Let's just be clear. They can prove back a relationship back to the interviews. Okay, that he was seeing someone. They do believe it was Shoshana. So maybe she has more to do with the case than we thought. I mean, she does seem to be all over him. She does seem to be clearly involved with him now. And she has been at the residence. They thought all of these stuff that she's been charged with, the speculation, this is the rumors, because the true crime community, we all talk, right? We're all out there. We all read this stuff, right? So this is what the community is saying out there, just general gossip. And, I like to stick to facts, but this one was intriguing to me. That when she was going to get that package or whatever, what was in that package, Jay?
I want to know what's in what was in the package that she took.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not alone here in the petty gossip department.
Yeah, when I seen that, I'm like, what was in the package that she would do that to get busted?
Yeah, and she's going to risk everything, okay? And then what are they hiding? What is it they're hiding that she has to go back there and she has to keep making sure that people don't find? Something at the residence. Now that residence is sold. There's other people in there, but her and Morphew keep going back there. Why, Jay? Why? And I'm sure this is what the investigators are asking also. Because just because we are in trial now does not mean we are not still investigating. Just because we are filing all of the legal work and heading towards trial, which that one is in May 2022.
May 3rd through June 1st is the schedule.
Right? Yep.
Trial.
And that we're going to have such a great 2022, aren't we, Jay? We're going to be able to do real trial updates. Lots of updates, and hopefully even some of the unsolved ones. I'm actually, that's become something a little knit in my ear here now about looking into unsolved, because it could be interesting to look at evidence and see if we see anything fresh. Even though it's been done before, I just still find it fascinating. I really do. But a nice rusty one. We'll see what we can dig up. A nice, really old one.
That's in response to Krabby posted an update that somebody in the next holler over.
Oh, I thought she meant a nice rusty case. Sorry. That's what I get for not reading the whole chat. You see how we go. But anyway. Yes, just saying, Morphew does give me Chris vibes into the fact, the coldness, right? I don't know if that's where you are with it, but the coldness of how he speaks about the events when he's trying to explain it to the investigators. And if you read it in the indictment, because that was the 140-page indictment of evidence with everything, and it was really tiny type. So when I tell you 140 pages, like count on it being like almost 300. Was that not the smallest type you ever saw, Jay? I needed to put a magnifier on it to read it. It was getting a bit sorry. Well, there's a lot there, and what really got me, Jay will be back, I hope. What really got me was that the tone of his conversations and how they would change every time he was speaking about addressing them in regards to evidence and stuff like that, Okay. I hope you come back, Jay. If not, we'll just finish up. But I hope everything's okay. basically. But anyway, I think that's where you're going with it, just saying, but that's where I am too, so. All right. So, any other questions in regards to the updates? There was also craziness about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, which I follow that one, and that's on the celebrity gossip section. He, which was entertaining. We know that they're going through the devices. They've been finding things on the phone. And now all of apparently there's quite a few boyfriends and stuff going back and forth. Just put in the name and just amuse yourselves for a little while, because I got to tell you, it was quite amusing for me. Everybody's now fighting with everybody. But the point being that Johnny Depp is finally making some headway in his defamation case in proving that it is quite clear that Amber Heard was the one just selling this story out there to anybody who would listen without it actually being 100% true. They were both hot messes, that's for sure. Oh, KJ, I don't know Bella Marie, because she's not my favorite subject. That girl irks me to no end. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. If you mean KJ, yeah, I'm not sure. But Erin covers KJ regularly, and she's on like almost every night, and we can ask that there. I am not covering that court case. I will celebrate with others. Peter, is that no, that won't happen about covering that case? Peter has spoken. Nope, she's not. No, I am not, because that is just, she makes my brain blow up regularly just with the amount of misinformation that comes out of her mouth. To actually follow it and try to weigh in on it would actually be too much for me, Bella. I have to admit, Yeah. Yes, really, Miranda. It's getting a little interesting because they want to get all of the devices and get the conversations and all she's been having, and they are going to get Franco up there, and they're going to get Elon Musk, and they are getting affidavits about them. And apparently, she had her fingers in a lot of other pies besides her husband's all along, and they are also going to get the friends to testify. They are going to make them go to court. He's not backing off. Okay. To which YouTube? Oh, you mean to Aaron? Yes, I can. I will look that up right now for you. If one of my mods doesn't have a laptop that can link Aaron, just give me a shout if you cannot, and I will go and do it. But I don't want to freeze up waiting on Jay to pop back in. But it was EKC People Suck. That would be Erin's channel, and she covers her. She does commentary on her regularly. And also, I will look for the date for you just because you asked, and I know how to get in touch with you. You're welcome. I'm just sorry. I just don't have the fortitude to cover her. She's taken too much of my life already, to tell you the truth, with anger and just frustration on just not getting anything right. And, thank you very much, Peter. There you go, Bella. But on that, it's 7 o'clock, and I don't see hide nor hair of my friend Jay, but we will be joining each other again on Thursday. We will be over on his channel for doing more of this kind of thing with you guys. And I do believe that might be 7 o'clock, but I'll have to check. It'll be on his channel. His channel is definitely linked below. There are some articles linked below. I'll be linking more about what we talked about so that you can follow up. And as always, if you guys want to get in touch with us, you know how to reach us by Twitter and by Instagram. And if you could share, if you like this kind of stuff, or for that matter, anything I do on my channel, and I do more than just true crime. We've got like mayhem, and we have the Am I the Asshole conversations, regular conversations on other detailed subjects, which I love to have. And we do the readings. If you like any of it, share it around. Let's get some subscribers up, let's make me a real YouTube channel so I can stay here and talk to you like this. That's what I want to do. And if you want me here, help me out. Let's get it out there. Let's do the likes, the comments, ring the bell, share it up. And maybe if they watch, they'll want to subscribe too. So, and I'm with you always. She doesn't deserve my energy. She's sucking the life out of me on a regular. She's like I don't know, some kind of She's a fact. Oh, I got it. She's a fact vampire. She just takes because she don't have any. She never has the facts straight. She's so full of misinformation. She just sucked the life from my wanting to keep things straight right out of me. I get you, you know. That's right, Whisper. And if you retweet me on Twitter, you do get cookies. Josh will tell you. If you retweet my posts in regards to my streams, I always give out cookies. It's true. It's true. I'm a little silly that way. But on that, I think I'm going to put the outro on. It is always a pleasure to have you all here. Thank you for joining us all tonight. I'm sorry you couldn't make it back, Jay, but oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Oh, you had to call me a liar. Oh, here you go.
I don't know what happened. Just
Well, at least you get to call me and say goodbye. I was just ready to just kick the whole thing off, but
Hello?
I'm glad you're here. Oh, just saying that is, I can. Can you hear me? Wait.
Yeah, I got it now.
You are a real YouTuber. Some on this platform have thousands and they're not worthy of them. Well, thank you very much. You know what? It's in my head that if I don't have 1,000 subscribers, like I'm not really here. But I know like I know it's a thing. And I admit to being crazy about that kind of stuff. Like I'm doing it to myself. I get it. But thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it. That was a hell of a nice thing to say.
I want to apologize. I don't know what happened. The whole computer just froze up on me. I had to do a manual shutdown and whatnot.
They'll tell you I was highly upset. I did nothing but rant and rave about you and call you names the whole time you were gone.
Wouldn't surprise you. Did you?
How dare you, sir? How dare you? Like that would ever happen? Have you met me? You know.
Did you cover the shopping cart?
No, you want to? Hey, you guys, you want to hang out a little while? I know I said goodbye, but do you want to stay? Because this is good. I couldn't bring it up because I didn't know anything about it. It was Jay's deal, but it's good. You want to listen and stay for a few. Let's go, Jay. Go on.
All right. So we are now at the very beginning, as of December 18th. Learning about a brand new serial killer that was caught in Virginia that went by that they were nicknamed the shopping cart killer. So we're catching this at the very beginning. Now the shopping cart killer, his name is, according to police, is Anthony Robinson, 35, African American male from the area. They have the names and identity of 3 victims, and they're working on a 4th one. They caught him on video pushing one of the bodies in a shopping cart to dispose of it. So that's how he got the name of the shopping cart serial killer. Not a lot of information going on. Not a lot of information out there exactly. All we know right now is that he was luring women through dating websites. He would bludgeon. We don't really have a whole lot of detail on how he killed them other than bludgeoning and some blunt force trauma. Then he would dispose of the bodies in a shopping cart. We know there's at least 4 victims. There's possibly more, but we know of at least 4. We do know that they've talked to 2 different women that managed to meet with him, but felt something was wrong and got the hell out of there really quick. So
you know that's important. You get that little hair on the back of your neck. Run, girl, run. Like, yeah. Oh God. Oh my.
Yeah. So right now, according to Davis, which is the police chief of Fairfax County, Chief Kevin Davis, saying we are in the process of conducting, along with many other partners, a retrospective investigation to figure out where he's been. And we're going to work with our law enforcement partners, homicide detectives, and missing person detectives to see if we can identify any other victims and families and communities that he's brought harm to. So they know of at least 4, and they're trying to determine if he is involved in more. In the shopping cart, investigators found 2 bodies, including one that they believe was that of Brown, one of the victims that was Cheyenne Brown. And the other one who has not been fully identified in that was the second woman. We have a tattoo that has been positively identified by her family as Cheyenne, and that's the reason we're not waiting.
Right. Well, those are personal tattoos, so they would know. Yeah.
And they also they're like almost 100% positive that it is Cheyenne. So they want to divert resource and stuff to trying to find other victims instead of tying it up with that.
Right. That makes sense, and that's
Yeah.
that is actually honorable of them to do it that way.
So yeah,
Oh. So they
the
identified one out of the four that they think, right? Like, so
they've
there's three.
identified 3 out of the 4. There's only one they
Three.
don't
There's
know.
only one.
Yeah,
Only one. Okay.
only one
So
that they
only the
don't
one.
know of.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 2 of the victims: Ann Elizabeth Redmond, 54, Tanita Larice Smith, 39, and Cheyenne Brown, 29.
There's some age difference there. He's not
Yeah,
very particular, huh?
yeah.
Also, all right. So you've got a new serial killer. You got
Yeah.
an unidentified serial killer. You got a suspect, but
Well, they're pretty
this is
sure it's
good.
him because they got him on video pushing the shopping cart with the bodies.
Well, yeah,
And
but
they
what are you going to do? Well, here's the thing. Okay, devil's advocate. What else you going to do with a shopping cart full of dead bodies but
yeah.
push it away? Like, come on, you could have just found it. Not, but you know what I'm saying. I mean,
So
yeah.
at the time of the second death, when they found Cheyenne and then the unidentified body, he had already been charged on the 2 counts of first degree murder,
Mm-hmm.
as long with 2 felony counts of concealing, transporting, and or altering a dead body from the first 2 victims they found in the shopping carts.
Mm-hmm.
So the charges are forthcoming for the second 2. It said there was a trial hearing for the first 2 deaths for the 27th of December, but I could not find any information on that at all.
Well,
There was
Jay,
nothing.
yeah, I could help you out with it. I think I'll look
Yeah.
for it. I think now that you gave me a name and a case, I
Yeah.
think I could perhaps bombard you with about 147 legal documents, like
Yeah.
last time.
Um,
Did you ask me for something? What it was one of the cases. You said you got anything on this, and then in the middle of the night we got hit with a
yeah.
legal file. It was like
Yeah. You're like, oh, I
137.
got tons of stuff.
All of a sudden, in the middle of the night, 137 legal documents. Boom. There you are.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what we know right now. Like I said, if they disclose how
Mm-hmm.
he disposed of how he killed the victims, and will tell us a lot about his psyche and what
Mm.
he what and why. That's a lot of information that you can find out. Just how he killed and disposes of the bodies will give you a real good sense
And
of.
they have that right there on the internet, like out in the articles already, huh?
No, that's the thing. I
No.
can't. The only thing I
So
can found is he's bludgeoned.
has he been indicted? Because that's going to be in the indictment if he's been indicted. I'm going to go look.
Yeah,
I'm definitely
take a
going
look
to
at that
find
because
out.
I can't find
Yeah.
anything other than he bludgeons in one case, and they only mentioned one part of one blunt force trauma, but they didn't specify where. I don't have the legal access like you do, otherwise I might have been able to find it. But like I said,
You
everything
should have
I've looked into.
messaged me earlier. I got it for you. But I mean, I know that these things just come up, so I would
Yeah,
definitely. The next time you stream on it, you'll have all you have to do is ask.
yeah. So
Bl-
we'll keep you um apprised of what's going on here. Like I said, this is this is a very rare opportunity where we get
Mhm.
to start at the beginning with a serial killer. So
Yep. So
um,
I was just clarifying for our friend Miranda here in the chat that you and I are doing this regularly here on Mondays and on your channel on Thursdays. You got
yep,
one coming up Thursday. Is that 7 o'clock? I was unsure about the
yes,
time.
7 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Shay did bring up there is another one that I barely looked into a little bit. I've only heard
Mhm.
about it.
The
There's a
Miami real estate.
real
Yeah.
estate agent killing
Yep. Shay sent
homeless
this to
people.
me, and we are looking into it, Shay. I just was
Mhm.
trying to do an update for this week, on the ones we already have open because you guys have, I have to tell you, and don't stop. Because I'm not complaining. I'm not widging. I literally love this stuff.
No,
And
yeah.
the stuff you're sending me, I am looking into. Just because we're not doing a stream on it doesn't mean I'm not gathering up and preparing and looking at the legal stuff. Every name you give me, if I can go in and find the legal stuff and try to get more information, we're going to do it. And I do have some stuff on this guy already to go. So we can, between that and the shopping killer, that could be another thing that we cover soon, but it's yeah.
We had another bot, but Raven beat me to it this time.
You're supposed to be, Jay, you're supposed to be paying attention to me up here. Leave the bots to the mods, man.
I was reading the thing with the serial what Shay put about the real estate, and he popped up right underneath. I was like, ooh, and
you're making it too easy to pick on you. Stop. It's gonna like trip my trigger here. I'm gonna be doing it all the time. Don't make it so easy. Just stop. They say okay. On my channel, it is Monday. Besides doing legal on Friday, I have mayhem, but because I have a lot of panels coming up this week. Thursday, I'm doing a creep show art panel, Miranda, with Jamal on Be It, Say It. And that will be on my community tab as soon as we finish getting the stream updated. And then I'm on Hereticals on Friday morning, right, Jay? Is our first one back after hiatus. We're doing 6-pack, 7:30 a.m. from the Hereticals channel. That'll also be on the community tab. We usually do a Tits Out stream with Polly Mathick, who is also part of the 6-pack team. And I love working with her. And that's a open forum for everyone to join. And we talk about whatever's going on, some hot issue, usually political, maybe even religious. It's usually something nobody else wants to talk about. So that's why we call it Tits Out. We just,
I do believe it starts at 6.
At 6.
Friday.
Okay.
6 a.m. So I do have some information. So the stream's going to start at 6 from now on, and then we'll go for about 2 hours.
Great.
And then I've been talking with Chris, and after about 2 hours, we'll probably spend a half hour or an hour or so as we'll bring in members of the community to have a chat too. That's how we're looking at doing it.
So bringing in members, I like that. Bringing in members of the community makes for interesting conversations. So looks like we got a long morning planned for Friday, and I'm looking forward to it. And yes, number 8 has been a slacker, Raven. He's been off. Like Jay and I have been busy. Everybody else has been off celebrating somewhere, enjoying. So, but I'm looking forward to having the whole team back together again. I know, Jay, we've missed them, the crazy people, and it's going to be some great conversations. Also Wednesday, because I got to plug my mates here because they're friggin' awesome, and I like hanging out with them. And besides, they'll kick me out if I don't. It's true. So on Wednesday morning, you got to get over to Hereticals, and we're going to talk about whether Paul McCartney really died while he was a Beatle, and that whole rumor thing. It's going to be Jay and Chris, and it's Chris is welcome back. You can harass him. Please harass him in the chat with number 8. Every chance you get, you're my people here. You got to number 8 that man to death.
I thought it was funny because Chris had mentioned about bringing up the Paul McCartney one, and then just a couple of days later at Christmas, I got a book from my daughter about conspiracy theories, collusions, and stuff like that. And the very last chapter of the book is on Paul McCartney. I thought it was so funny.
I wish I could find it, but my brother-in-law, my stepsister's husband, actually wrote a little book called I Buried Paul, and he published it himself. And it is about some college students investigating that rumor. It's quite cute. So it was I didn't have time to send it to you in time that you could read, but there's no facts in it. It's because it's it's a made up story.
It's all gibberish, but it's a fun one to look into because it kind of makes you go, huh?
Could Ahmad please link the Hereticals channel for those asking? I will, just so you all know, I have been slack during the 2 weeks I was off. I'm not doing what I normally do, but I will continue to put a schedule up on the back of the community channel now that I have the community tab on my channel, and try to let you know where I am for the panels and what's going on. I do try to post their streams on the back as much as I can. But I've been, taking holiday like everybody else when I could in between, because Jay's been working my ass to death for these 2 with these new streams, which I happen to love very much, and I'm laughing. But we didn't take a sabbatical, did we, Jay?
No, we did not. We actually started 2 new shows.
Yeah, we did. And so that's why I'm like, wait till next week when everything's in full swing again. It's like tune in 2 weeks from now to see if Claire and Jay are actually still even speaking to each other. because look what they did. Look what they did. But
Thursday,
actually,
because Thursday on my channel, we've got the serial killer roundtable, which
we do. I'm very excited. That's not this Thursday. That's next Thursday.
No, that's this Thursday.
The roundtable I thought was the 13th.
Did I have it for I did have it for the 13th.
You see, people. How can
Yep, I did. Yeah, you do. My bad.
I'm gonna have to. Chris might have an issue. He might have a point with you.
My apologies to Pickle and Shay and Davros, because those are the 3 that will be joining me and Claire. I thought for some reason thought it was this week.
We could do it.
It's the 13th.
Well, I thought we were going to finish up talking about the FBI and something else. But if you want to do the roundtable, they're all willing to come. Why not do it? It's a one Thursday, just like another. We're still doing true crime, and it don't matter to me.
Yeah, we could probably still do it this week. I've got everybody asked for this week, so we'll just do it this week.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad your power stayed on too, Krabby, because that's really annoying. When it goes out, that happens to us with windstorms. I'm not looking forward to this snowstorm.
Yeah, my parents, it's like every time it rains at their place, the power went out. So my dad went and had them install a big generator.
Bella Marie's asking what time that would be in Australian time, and I think she's talking about the heretical stream, and that would be in the evening the next day. For sure. Yeah. So it depends on what part of Australia you're from. So it's either 6 p.m. at night, 8 p.m. at night, or almost 10:30, depending on the time zones in Australia.
If I remember right, Chris is right now is 14 hours ahead of me, so it would put it at 9:30 for him right now. So that would put it at 8 p.m. For him.
8 p.m.
and he lives in just so you give it. He lives in Canberra. So
so it depends. Are you from Australia? I think you are, right? Bella, is that too personal? You don't have to answer. I'm always putting my foot in my mouth with YouTube rules, not trying to, but anyway, based on the different areas. If you tell me where you're from, even privately, I would be able to give you the exact time zone for you. But from Melbourne, so I guess it would be 14. It would be 14, right? 14
should be
hours.
14. Yeah. So it'll be 8 p.m. On Friday night.
Okay. All right. So on that, so now we have a new case. We're going to be following the shopping cart, and we're going to go into the real estate guy. We have 2 open ones for sure. And so that's, we've got quite the load right now. And when things aren't popping, we'll be filling in with historical serial killers and interesting cases. Try to find some of those really old ones for you. But, I'm glad you all enjoy this as much as we do. It's not easy to find a bunch of people that want to hang out and talk this kind of stuff, but I'm glad you do. I'm glad you guys like the way that we do it. I hope you learn a little something between all of the disgusting details we give you as far as the actual crime, but then the legal intrigue, which I really enjoy, and then Jay here with his fantastic memory, keeping the facts all straight. This is great. That's a gift, Jay. I got to tell you, that's a gift. Because if everybody noticed, I didn't have to flout my papers around so much today because Jay had the dates, man. I didn't.
So for the new people here that are just joining us tonight, this show it's a 2-part show. Monday. Here where we're at now is usually where we cover all the legal stuff. This is Claire's part. This is her bread and butter and the legal stuff. And on Thursdays on my channel It's usually the second part where we go into the psychology and
Mhm.
the backgrounds and stuff on serial killers and true crime stories. So we try to give it to you in both aspects. We try to give you the legal stuff. We try to give you the human stuff side of it. So if you like what we do on Monday and don't like what we do on Thursday, that's your choice, or vice
Yeah.
versa. You like what we do on
Mhm.
Thursday and not on Monday, that's okay.
Mhm. Yep.
We don't. We're not asking anybody to join us. We hope you join us because you enjoy our conversations. You enjoy what we do together.
Mhm.
But it's not mandatory. You don't have to
Mhm.
be here, and we will not be upset if you don't show up. So,
It's true. It's
but
true.
we do enjoy it
Mhm.
100% that you're here because we
Mhm.
love the interaction with the chat. So
I'm
thank you all
looking
for joining.
forward. I am actually looking forward to actually being able to have like voice conversations with people later at another date. One of
Hmm.
the benefits of when you finally do get large enough as a channel, you get up to 1,000, you can have memberships and you can have a membership Discord and you could do like group calls with people, like up to like 50 people at a time. And you can actually talk to them like real like voice back and forth instead of talking. Like it is nice chatting back and forth, but it's like a different element. It's something else to offer to people that you could just put out there. Not necessary, nobody has to do it, but I thought it would be fun. And thank you,
Yeah.
Shay. I appreciate receiving the extra information. Shay is a true, she's into these stuff. She was
So,
I got lists from her of female serial killers that is like really, that is an amazing list, Shay. By the way, I've been looking at some of them. Crazy
you know,
stuff. and
and,
and everyone's sending us links to
mhm.
new cases. Especially we got that case, the real estate guy. We actually knew what that was because somebody had sent that to us prior, and I really appreciate it. You guys interacting, it helps make this even more fun. It's my passion no matter what. If I wasn't on YouTube, I'd be doing it anyway because I do it. It's not a lie. I read this stuff every morning with my coffee. Every morning I'm up there reading legal briefs. But I enjoy it, but it's so much more fun to do it with Jay because Jay brings such a different element to it. He brings a personal aspect to it, and also that psychological, that deep dive into why is this, why is that? Like I'm
Mhm.
fascinated by that. Like I'm getting really intrigued by that too, and also how that's going to play up in the court cases because now I never thought of that part of it
Yeah,
before.
and that is a huge part of the court cases.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to say, I do want to. You mentioned Shay and her, what a
Yeah,
fantastic job Shay does. But we can't take away from Krabby and
not
always,
Krabby or anyone in here
yeah,
speaking on it.
always
Always,
grateful.
yeah,
Raven. I mean,
yeah.
we get Pete. A lot
Everybody.
of you guys send us
Davros
lots of
sent us
value.
our fascinating Catherine Knight. Didn't
Yeah,
Davros sent that to us? I mean, every single, like, just because I said Shay's name doesn't mean every
yeah,
single one of you are just as
yeah,
valuable to us, because you all, like I said, you're all making this so much more fun for us. You're all contributing in a way that makes it like we're all in this together, and I
yeah.
absolutely love that
And
part of it.
that is
You know.
what we absolutely love is the fact that all of
Hmm.
you guys are here and you participate with us. I mean, because we've had stuff pop in the chat on the cases we've been covering we didn't even know about, and so that's a
Hmm.
good, because it's almost impossible to cover and know every single thing when it
Hmm.
comes to a case. I mean, Claire knows stuff that I don't know, and I know stuff that she doesn't know. But then
Hmm.
Davros or Krabby or Shay or Raven or anybody else will know stuff that neither one of us know. So it's
Hmm.
all on how you look at everything and whatnot that brings this together. That's why we enjoy talking with the chat so much. So
It's true. It's
thank you
true.
all.
Hey, hey there, Birdman, bird guys, bird whatever. Nice to see you. It's just popping in. What? And we're just popping out. Like we got 4 minutes, Jay. So what do you think you want to do next week? Hmm.
um, I don't know yet.
Hmm.
This is your show, so we'll lean on you. What do you
Okay.
want to do next week?
Well, you know what? I'm going to go look for legal on our real estate guy and the shopping, and then we'll talk. We'll see, because they're fresh, they're new. We just did an update, so let's go. Rather than dive into something historical, let's go see
Hmm.
what we can find. See if we can carry this a little bit further, and then
Yeah.
go from there. So on that, it's going to be a secret, I guess, a kind of secret, because
well, we'll try to bring you updates on the real estate killer and the shopping cart killer to be determined. How about that?
To be determined, to see, because those were both new to me. I just heard about the other one wasn't too new because I knew of it. I had researched the articles at least, but the shopping cart killer, that I just found out today while you were speaking about it. So let's go see what we can find and see if there's anything there that we can dig our teeth into and see where it might be going legally. That'll be fun. And on that, for anybody that follows my Twitter or whatever, in about a half hour, they're going to be the first episode on the Non Sequitur show return, and it's going to be with Frank Parada, who Jay and I know very well from research with Nexium, and this man has an amazing website, amazing take on things, and they're going to be covering sex trafficking, and I believe Jim Jules is going to do a personal story in regards to her relationship to all of that, and it should be quite interesting. I'm curious to see how they are going to present it, and it's going to be a tough subject, of course, but like Non Sequitur is known for, they don't run from the tough stuff, and I'm looking forward to see how they present it and to try to see how Frank is on stream. Yeah, Jay? You're excited, right?
I mean, we've read so much of his stuff. It'd be interesting to actually listen to him speak, because I said me and Claire, a lot of our research came from the Frank report. So Frank Parlato will be interesting listen.
It is. And Bella, I'm going to try. I'm going to look into it.
We are going to try, Bella.
We're going to do that. Yep. We're going to try for Monday on that for you. Okay. So on that, I'm going to wrap it up. This time I am actually going to put on the outro, and I'm going to actually not wait for Jay to drop me. I'm just going to kick him this time. So it's going to leave me standing up here. Okay. Anyway, and
not
I know
my
everybody.
fault.
I know it's not. No, it's always your fault. Raven told me. Now I have these. You
don't
like coffee. You don't like coffee. You don't like pineapple pizza. You just like no. So I get to say it's your fault because Raven knows I'm gonna go with her. She says it's your fault. It's your fault. It's it. So on that note, I do love him. No, I actually do love him. People don't take it serious. But anyway, we will see you all on Thursday on Jay's channel, and of course all over the place in between, because that's where Jay and I are lately. But we will see you Thursday for True Serial at 7:00. Yes, and,
7 p.m.
Yep, and we'll see you there. In the meantime, I'll see you guys all on the socials. Have a great night.
Have a wonderful day.